Hello everyone and welcome to the LLG vlog. I'm Deborah Evans, LLG's Chief Executive, and I'm joined this week by Dennis Hall, our Bulletin Editor.
Good morning, everyone.
Now, I'm delighted to be joining you this week. We have a lot to talk about. I'm looking forward to this vlog in particular as there is a focus on the diversity of the legal profession in-house and in particular in local government, which LLG has been delighted to contribute to. So, Dennis, what have you got for us this week?
Well, I think it's a special treat this week, Deborah. It's that local government lawyer article on the latest SRA statistics. And of course, you were involved in that. Statistics can be revealing, of course, about patterns of employment, and a whole range of issues become apparent. And you featured, of course, in a leading local government lawyer article in which you commented on the state of our sector at the present time. And I think we should look at this in some more detail today. You made that key point about the age profile of council legal departments after statistics have shown that the vast majority of young in-house lawyers are choosing to work in the private sector. Now, indeed, the latest figures from the SRA don't explain why this is the case. I know we're going to look at some of these issues this morning and what can be done about it to improve career opportunities in local government. But as you said, local government does come across as very diverse and inclusive. But equally, we need to work hard to ensure that all of our lawyers don't head off towards retirement and then there's nobody following in their footsteps. You also said we need to ensure that local government remains attractive to young lawyers who want to start their career there. Deborah.
Yes, absolutely. It's about attracting lawyers at the start of their career, raising that visibility, but then it's also about retaining them throughout their career. And that's really about keeping them interested and fulfilled. Although we do recognise that for many people, particularly the younger generation, they see a career that spans across both public and private sector and may well move freely across the two, but it has to remain attractive. So on the podcast this week, we were discussing legal tech, and actually it's incredibly important that local authorities invest in tech in order that we can offer people the tools that they're used to seeing elsewhere. It's absolutely crucial to have e-signing and sealing, archives and deeds accessible online, good cloud-based case management that can work as well from home or from other locations as well as the office. And many authorities are now looking at things like AI and self-service portals to manage low-risk work in order that lawyers can really be doing the valuable work. So this sort of stuff is really attractive to the next generation, and it's also a real boon to our current lawyers in relieving them of that lower level workload. Again, attracting the next generation is key to improving our age profile. But back to the current issue with the ageing workforce. So, Dennis, are there any particular factors that may explain the trends behind the SRA statistics?
Well, in my career, I've seen retirement policies change significantly over the years, leading to people staying in posts far longer than ever before. But the question is, why is this? Retirement ages have gone up, of course. For many years until recently, every authority chose to have some form of what was called a management of change employment policy, which encouraged early retirements with financial packages that provided for added years pension entitlements, and these were designed to incentivize those early retirement opportunities. But of course, council could do those things then. They had the resources to do so. And ironically, the purpose of this kind of policy was staff retention, but retention of the right staff, the retention of younger staff by encouraging progression through the ranks. But those days have long gone. And my point is this, Deborah, that new entrants or prospective entrants into local government often now see an unusual staffing landscape of senior managers with that higher age profile that you mentioned in the article, and a picture where few opportunities for progression are likely to rise very soon. And this must deter ambitious young lawyers from wanting to enter the sector. The fact is, people are staying in post longer than before, even in the same post for longer. Deborah.
So what, I hear you ask, does LLG offer you from the perspective of career development, and can we help? Well, yes, we can. We run the LLG Work Experience Week at the beginning of July every year. which you can use to encourage law graduates and students to take a look at career in local government. Now, every year we are pleased to announce that some of these students then succeed in securing places within local government. That might be as legal assistants, paralegals, trainees, etc. But in the majority of cases, we whet their appetite to look at local government as a career choice, whether at the start of their career or the middle of their career. It's there. We've opened their eyes. Now, it's not overly onerous for you as a local authority to take on a student. You're asked to keep them busy each morning for a week and showcase your work, whether that be with attending meetings, going to court, looking at casework, meeting with trainees and solicitors to understand what they do, or undertaking exercises, real or anonymised, dependent on the situation. And then in the afternoon, LLG then provides them with an exciting timetable of workshops and round tables so that they get a full taste of all the different areas of local government. So that works really, really well. We increase their knowledge, we increase their understanding. And if you want to take part, do let us know. It's never too late. And it's so essential, as we were saying, that we basically encourage the younger generation to think about local government. So what else are we doing, I hear you say? Well, we're also developing modules to sit alongside the SQE that are specifically focused on local government, and we're hopeful that they will come out later this year. And in due course, we're then going to build modules for those that have recently qualified to look at each area, each expert area in local government in depth. So I think it's important to understand that we've all got a role to play in boosting the visibility of local government as a career option for graduates and students. And let's not forget the opportunities for school leavers with respect to apprenticeships as well. Now, at present, we're not running an apprenticeship work experience programme. However, we have developed a recruitment hub area on our website where all vacancies for apprenticeships or trainee level recruitment, paralegals, legal assessments, anything that could attract a new starter in law in local government, they can all be advertised for free. So roll up and include your trainee and apprenticeship vacancies on our website. So Dennis, what else explains what's happening in local government on staffing and recruitment?
Well, Deborah, I think there's another factor at work here that may be relevant, and it's this strategic approach taken these days to organisational changes within local authorities. It often leads to far fewer opportunities for career progression, in my opinion. And what I mean by this is that many authorities for some years take an approach to organisational structures that involves what HR call the delayering of posts in departments. This involves reducing the number of higher grade senior positions in a department and introducing more lower grade managerial posts at team leader level. And many of our members will have seen this happen, either when a major authority reorganisation takes place or when an internal reorganisation has been devised and implemented. But again, the point is this: in either case, the problem is that the newly designed manager roles that have been created offer a much wider span of managerial responsibility than previously. Young lawyers don't always want this kind of scenario. And it is this that often proves unattractive to those lawyers wanting to go up the officer ladder in their councils, Deborah.
Yes, flat structures, there's a downside to them, isn't there, really? So again, what can LLG do to help improve career progression? So at the other end, we offer LLG Inspire to encourage solicitors at the middle of their career to make that step into leadership and become monitoring officers, heads of legal and the directors of the future. Now, it's well known that development is as important for retention as pay and benefits. So do not underestimate the impact on retention that offering somebody training can have. Now, it goes without saying that we offer training for continuing competence in all areas of local government law, plus free webinars, podcasts, blogs, vlogs, etc., that you can use to develop a training strategy for your solicitors. The key thing is that you need to be active, not passive, if you wish to recruit and retain the lawyers of the future. So all in all, Plenty to think about there, Dennis, and you can be sure that we'll be guide you out there through the detail in both the bulletin and our Grapevine podcast throughout the year. And on that note, you can get coverage of many more items from the bulletin and by listening to our Grapevine podcast. So it's goodbye from me.
And from me too.
Goodbye.